Who has he played? I'm asking, who has Shedeur Sanders played? In his 4 years in college, who did he play? That's why his draft stock's tanking. That's why scouts are turning on him. That's why nobody wants his dad around. His dad put him against easy teams always. At Jacksonville State, he played Amazon workers. In the Big 12, he played nobody this year. The few teams he played that were good, he lost. Has he played a Georgia? Has he played a Florida? Has he played a Penn State, Ohio State, Clemson, Michigan? Any of them, any of the top teams, Alabama? No, he's never played those. So how does he have so much hype? Oh, it's because he's Deion's son. Why does he have all this hype when we haven't seen him against the best of the best? Last year when they played Oregon, what happened? They got destroyed. That was the top 10 team he's played, only one in his career. What happened when they played BYU, a pretty decent team? They got destroyed. Like, come on. Nebraska, who just has big trenches, got destroyed. Like, he doesn't show up. Kansas State, the only other ranked team they played this year, got destroyed. Like, lost that game. They didn't really get destroyed, but he lost that game. And to me, Kansas State is not even that good. I want to see you against a Ole Miss, a Texas A&M, any of these, even just some of these bigger Big Ten schools, Wisconsin or Iowa. I think they would lose to all of them and they would get exposed there too, because it's not just the bad Colorado line. It's Shedeur Sanders. He holds the ball longer than Caleb Williams. He's back there just holding the ball, holding the ball, holding the ball. Why? Oh, because he wants to try to complete the deep ball always, because in that offense, which is not a pro style offense, all they do is look for stats. All they do is look for, how can I get Travis Hunter the Heisman? How can I get Shedeur Sanders in the Heisman race? They're not looking for, oh, let me throw this check down for 3 yards, or let me give the running back this little screen pass so we can get the first down. No. That's not how this offense was developed. If you watched the games this year, you saw they didn't have a run game, and it wasn't the line's fault. It was because they didn't want to run the ball. Deion said he's going to put the game in his son's hands, and that's what he did. He threw it 40, 50, 60 times a game like this is high school, like this is Pee-wee. And we've seen he's coached him since then, and so he's had some decent success at each level, so he thinks that was going to slide going to Colorado in the college level, and it hasn't. It did against the weak Big 12 teams that they played. And let's get this right now. They played all the weak teams of the Big 12. And when they played the second best team in the Big 12, BYU, they lost. And when they played the third best team in the Big 12, Kansas State, they lost. They didn't even play the top team in the Big 12, which was Arizona State, who they would have lost to. And then the year before, when they're in the Pac-12 and they played the top teams, they all lost to all those, had 4 wins, and got destroyed in their one big game against Oregon, which was their chance after they were talking all big and bad to show, oh, I really belong here. So I don't understand where people are saying first pick, this guy, huh? Tom Pelissero just came out today and said that a lot of scouts don't see him as a first-round pick. A lot of scouts see him as a project. They see him as he didn't get a first-round grade to them, because they watch the film and see this guy wasn't in a pro-style offense. This guy holds the ball too long. This guy was coached by his dad, and we're going to have to deal with his dad. We're going to have to deal with the drama that comes with Deion telling people, oh, we're going to pull a Eli Manning, and we're only going to go where we want to go. What? Your son is not that good for that, and nobody wants to deal with you and deal with that. This is the NFL. Like, they're not going to put up with that. So he needs to take a step back. But I think they'll get humbled on draft night, because as we can see, already these teams, they've had a chance to tank for Shedeur. And you know what they've done? They went out and won games. They went out and went the other way. They basically are running away from the first pick and running away from Shedeur Sanders and Deion Sanders. They're like, nah, we don't want this, because I think they see the same thing I see, and they see he's not a first-round draft pick. He's not the first pick. Maybe Travis Hunter or one of these other guys. I'd probably draft the defensive end from Penn State first, but not these guys. This is not who you want. And it's because they say, oh, when we go look at film of Shedeur Sanders, who can we look at that he played that's going to be on the next level? And it's not a lot of teams, and it's not a lot of guys he's played against. His first 2 years at Jackson State, all those Amazon drivers aren't going to the NFL. And then in the Pac-12, that conference was so bad that they ended the Big 12, the Pac-12. Like, come on. And then he went to the Big 12, which is even basically had some even weaker teams, and he did good against those guys. But we know that people are all upset. Like, I made a video about Alabama, and I was criticizing Jalen Milroe. Well, at least he's played top talent week in and week out. So when he loses to Michigan, he loses to Georgia, he loses to Ole Miss, he loses to Ohio State. He loses to these big blue blood programs to where you're like, oh, okay, at least we know when he falls short, he's playing against the best teams in the nation. He's playing against the most talent, which will translate to the NFL, because the NFL is 1% of college football. So it's 1%. It's the best of the best of the best. Not even all the people that make all conference in each conference go to the NFL. It's very selective. There's only 256 spots, and not even most of those guys get cut before opening day roster. So about 200 guys make it every year after the draft. And I'm pretty sure that Shedeur Sanders didn't play against 90% of those 200 men who will be drafted in April. Like, come on. I just hope that the media will wake up and see that this is a waiting train wreck. If Deion's going to come there and try to be a coach, or Deion's going to come there and be a helicopter parent, that's just a train wreck. And that you have to coach him now so much because his dad has been his coach for all these years, and he's really only taught him to throw the ball and to basically get stats. I don't see where he's developed him into a quarterback. Yes, he can throw from the pocket, and he has a pretty throwing motion, but he holds the ball too long, and he doesn't read defenses well, and he doesn't manage the game well. He's not a good game manager because he's always going for the big plays. I remember the first year watching Colorado, they had a chance to win some more games, but they would go so fast and score that the defense wouldn't have any time to rest, and they had a bad defense with not a lot of depth, and the defense would just get scored on, and then eventually the offense would get stopped, and that's how they would lose games, because he didn't manage the game and realize, like a Tom Brady would, that, oh, okay, my defense doesn't have a lot of depth. They're going to be running at them. We need to shorten this game, so I need to hold the ball a little longer. I need to win time of possession, and so that our defense is on the field as least as possible, because that's the weakness of our team. So let's have them out there as least as possible, and maybe, we can win that way. That's a strategic way to win. But instead, they come out here and always trying to throw deep balls and throw bombs and not run the ball at all and not throw the check downs. And it's like, that's not going to work in the NFL. In the NFL, the famous phrase is 3 + 3 + 3 + 3 = first down. That's very true, because you're only going to get little chunk plays here and there, little plays here and there. That's how Tom Brady became the GOAT. That's how he became Tom Brady, by learning how to manage the game, learning that this game I need Randy Moss to have 3 touchdowns, 200 yards. In this game, we need to run for 200 yards, and I need to not throw any turnovers. But that's not how Shedeur has been taught since he was a kid, because Deion has him with the superhero complex to where he's the main character. And so you need to have 500 yards and 5 TDs for us to win, and give our defense no rest and us not manage the game. But you're getting your stats, and we're going to win through you because you're the team. That's not how it works in the NFL. Nobody's above the team. That's why they have helmets on, so you can't see them, because the NFL doesn't play that. No one's above the team. It's a team sport, and that's why Tom Brady was the GOAT, because he was the ultimate team player, which I have questions if Shedeur is, because he's a lot, we saw him, what he said about his offensive line before, and just sometimes he gets a little pouty with the media and everything. So we'll see. All right, guys, this is Bias Sports. Please like, comment, subscribe. Please let me know what you think. What is your grade for Shedeur Sanders? Do you think he's overrated? Do you think that I'm a hater. All right, guys, let me know. I'm out.